even now, since we're doing somatics, that's like we're inward looking. We're saying, well, what is the inner experience? What is the perception of my experience? And I invite you now to close your eyes and just begin to direct the searchlight of your awareness inward. And you had to drive here and get here. You had to get out of bed. You had to, in a way, you had to jump into action today. This is a stress response, jumping into action. And it gets us through life, and it can be a really good strategy. And right now, just scan yourself, scan through, and just really witness, is there a restlessness in your system? Could it be that it runs so much that it's almost even hard to see, but you might get a glimpse of it that it's there. Okay? You're just looking at that. And sort of notice where that is. As you scan yourself for stress, well, where do you look? This inward view. And let's come down and start to make it a little more specific in the looking. Just sort of scan through the back of your body, especially the back of the torso. Where is it not at rest? Look very carefully. Are there places that are not relaxed? And just witness it. Don't demand that they relax. We're just looking at it. Okay? Got anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So here, we're thinking about the activation, okay? Mm-hmm. The part of our stress response that makes us move forward in life. So now, let's look at the other side of stress. The side of stress reaction that says, I'd rather not be here. I'd rather just be in bed. I'd rather curl up. I feel sort of, imagine even scanning yourself. Is there any residue of feeling bummed out or worried, or where is that running? What do you look for to even look for that kind of thing? If you were looking for the sinking feeling of disappointment, where would you look? Okay, if you were looking for the first few drops of feeling bummed out, where would you look? Okay. We're good? You good?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Do you want me to answer?
Sure, let's hear it. Yeah, yeah.
I definitely am happy to be here, for sure.
Okay.
I don't want to be in bed, but I think right now I feel the rush. I own a business, a dog training business, so I always have responsibilities, which can be stressful.
Yes.
So the thought that I always have to be eager to please satisfying the clients that I have.
Okay.
That is stressful at times, of not really allowing myself to relax. So I do feel that pulling forward, especially in the shoulders and behind the abdomen, as you were saying. It's almost like lifted.
Okay, we're going to look at, that's it, you're onto it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this experiment where we look at, well, how do we change the hidden tensions where your brain isn't letting you even have control of it? Mm-hmm. So here, even go into that scenario for you of that stress, having to present to the client, however that was for you. Mm-hmm. If you ramp that up and step into it, play the script that helps you be really feeling that and amplify it, and notice, well, where does it start to grab you more and more? You're just looking at it. It's perfect. Okay? In a way, human stress response is generally symmetrical in how the brain tightens up the body in response to stress, this hardening that happens, but it's the front and the back. The back turns on to sort of arch our back and open the front of the body and help us move through life and go forward. If you're running from the bulls and they're chasing you, well, your back's probably pretty tight and you're racing away, okay? Fight and flight are together. They're both action. And if you see people who are bummed out, it's like curled up, hunched forward. Chest is closed. Shoulders are rounded. Well, that's stress response. So that's the tightening of the front of the body. So I propose that the patterns that your brain is really good at are somewhere between the front and the back. Okay? So in simplifying it and just making the schematic, well, what if today we take care of teaching the brain how to come out of the tension of the back and teach the brain how to come out of the tension of the front. In a way, we can get everything in between, or most of what's in between. So let's do more assessment. Let's think about the breathing, okay? Just see what it takes for you to observe your system just automatically breathing. Could you witness that? If it's hard to do, just hold your breath for a couple of seconds and then just let it start up and let it breathe where it wants to. Don't direct it anywhere. No editorializing. And just make sure you're getting enough air, make sure it's big enough, and sort of encourage it and maybe take partial manual control of that exact place. And you're just breathing. And I propose that this is where your brain finds it the easiest for you to breathe right now. That's the easiest place. So as you begin to take manual control of the breathing and simulate exactly that same breathing, what if you began to slow it down slightly and just make it a little bit deeper? So it's a clear inhale at whatever pace you need to go at. Just go at your own pace. A clear inhale, and then the breath actually just relaxes out. No effort needed on the exhale. The breath in and the exhale. Manual control of the breathing. So now, as you take a longer breath in, could you breathe in until you run up against some resistance? What's the constriction? Where does the brain say, well, that's too much work to breathe there? Okay? Slowing it down. Maybe try bringing it up into the front of the chest. Push up against that. Maybe get an idea of the lines of constriction, a few cycles of easy breathing, the passive exhale. Think about between belly button and belt buckle. As you breathe into that space, well, does that give way? The diaphragm is pulling the air into the lungs like a plunger, and it's pushing the abdomen out of the way. But does it move out of the way in that direction? Maybe go back to that middle abdomen or upper abdomen and say, okay, do we have room for a long breath in? Okay. And even as you take breath into the upper chest or into the chest, well, look carefully. Is it symmetrical, the constriction? Okay. Does your brain think it's too much work to breathe in some of these other places? Even try a cycle where you breathe up under the collarbones. What does it take to do that? How much work is it to move the air then? How much air moves? Okay. All right. That's our breathing assessment. Oh, try this. How about think about how your back is resting on the floor, on the table, on the mat. As you take a breath in, could you breathe into your back? And exhale, and could that be passive? And the breath in, where does your body push down into the table with the breath into the back? Does your brain consider that the back is breathing space, that it's possible? Is it possible? It might be confusing, it might be difficult. Okay? We're good? Mm-hmm. We're looking at breathing.